Hi, I'm Dr. Anton Janssen van Rensburg. A few things about inhalation, because it's not smoking. It maybe looks like smoking, but it's not. When we speak about cannabis or medicinal cannabis inhalation, we speak about low temperature vaporization. In Afrikaans is a very nice word, verdamping. Jy gebruik 'n damp, so we're using vaporization. And Sipho is a 58-year-old male, and he is a very interesting patient. When he came to me, he had already suffered for 9 years from a very interesting dorsal neuropathic pain, which was driving him insane. This pain is a burning sensation every single day of his life. He went to numerous rheumatologists, neurologists, neurosurgeons, and eventually the doctors, because they were out of sorts, what do we do with this man, said, you need to see a psychiatrist. And that's when he skipped the psychiatrist and came to me and said, can we do something with the cannabis? And I started him on a CBD dominant product, which started working. We introduced a 1-1 product at night. It was working. Everything really was, it was a miraculous treatment in itself, but we still had a problem with breakthrough pain. So twice a day, Sipho had breakthrough pain. And this is where I started using the vaporiser pen. It looks like a vape, but it's not exactly the same because we're using lower voltages and we're using lower temperature. But inhalation is wonderful because it's ideal for breakthrough pain. And so we use it in conjunction with the oils. I have patients that I use it alone for. You'll see now I've got some examples. But we sometimes, in most cases, I'll use it for a breakthrough pain. But decarboxylation is very important. So there has to be a form of heating so that I can release those cannabinoids. And that's why you heat cannabis, because you need to decarboxylize the cannabinoid acids that are in the plant. And those acids, if you see my first presentation, have benefit in themselves. But obviously we want to decarboxylize to get to the major cannabinoids and all the top cannabinoids that have medicinal effect. Also, I don't want people to combust necessarily. The 900 degrees Celsius does produce some pyrolytic compounds. We usually work at about 190 degrees Celsius. But I cannot criticize combustion of cannabis too much, because when it comes to PTSD, a condition that's very well studied in the population of the United States, they smoke their cannabis and people have benefit. And some long-term studies have shown that smoking cannabis definitely has less harm than smoking a normal cigarette, although I would prefer, and most of the practitioners that I train, we prefer to use low temperature decarboxylation. But it's very convenient because this is now a route that gives the patient quick relief. So the patient can put that pen in his pocket, you don't even see the pen, and if there's breakthrough pain in the day, they can take a single inhalation. Sometimes it only needs that single inhalation, and 15 minutes later, this patient has got pain relief that lasts for 2 hours. And then obviously, the effect together with the oral products is actually quite amazing and helps the patients quite nicely. So back to Sipho. So in his case, we saw that there are 2 breakthrough episodes during the course of the day. So we started him with that inhalation, and I told him that he can't inhale. He leaves work at 5 o'clock. I said last inhalation cannot be later than 3 o'clock because we need that 2-hour window for the THC to work out of his system, because the inhalation, the absorption is very rapid, but it works out of the system quite rapid as well. And here's my titration that I gave Sipho. And you'll see there that we end up with about 3 inhalations 3 times a day. That's still quite safe. But in his case, we did not use an evening dose, and we just went to a mid-morning and an early afternoon dose. And he stabilized those 2 breakthrough pain, well, when it happened, the breakthrough pain, with 2 inhalations per go. And he was safe to drive home at 5 o'clock. Right. So that's Sipho with his breakthrough pain. Then I saw Frida. Now Frida is a 48-year-old, and she was one of these super sporty ladies when she was younger. Did a whole range of sport and multiple injuries, multiple surgeries. And her pain problem really is around nighttime. She struggles to sleep. And by the time that she saw me, I had a patient who was very cranky and chronically sleep deprived, proper. And so I advised her that we can start with a 1-1 oil at night, but she told me that she prefers the vaporizer because it's so quick, it's so convenient, and so I did prescribe a vaporizer oil for her. And there you see her titration is very simple. We just started with 1 inhalation the first night, that we just make sure that the patient doesn't have some kind of a side effect. And then after that we went 2 inhalations, and then we slowly started titrating it upwards. And in her case, she stabilized beautifully on only 2 inhalations at night. And for other patients that I've seen with nighttime pain, some of them even single inhalation helps them to sleep through. So a very elegant way to deliver cannabinoids to the endocannabinoid system, and it works very well.